Okay, well, the last video we did, we were exporting out our layer states. This one is going to show us how we're going to import our layer states. Now, not only is this going to show you how to import it, this is going to be your little cheat sheet so that you will know what you have to do in order to print your drawing before you turn it in. Now remember, this is for our class. I know others now are watching. They do what they need to do, but this is getting ourselves set up for our classroom. So the first thing you want to do is you finish your drawing. Make sure it is correct. You want to put yourself, that object really needs to be in the object layer. Yourself needs to be in the object layer. If you leave yourself in the zero layer, when you actually do your printing, it won't print because our zero layer is a non-print. So you're in the object, the object's in the object, you're in the object layer. Once you get this done, you go ahead and you click over to your A-size drawing. Now, with your A-size drawing here, what we're going to do is we're coming over to Layout. Once we come to the Layout tab, we are coming over to Base. So this is from Model Space. We're not using Inventor yet. So with that, we will click on Base. And it takes a few minutes to get this thing going. And it'll swirl for a bit. Okay, check this out. This is my proper front. But what if you drew the whole drawing in the wrong UCS? If you have this and this is not the proper one, come on up here to Orientation and you can choose what the actual orientation that you need. So you have all of them sitting here. I've done it correctly, so it is in my front. So the next thing is when we're placing our views. We can place our views originally just by simply picking, right-click, enter. We can come up for our top view, and we can come over for our side view. Once we do that, we right-click and enter, and it's all in there. Now, what happens if, and let's just get rid of this one really quick. You get this view and this view, and for some reason you hit enter, and now you don't have this view. Simple fix, don't have a heart attack. All you have to do is instead of coming up to base, just go to project, pick it, pick your item, and pull it to the side. And you will have it. Now, this is the reminder just how you need to do for your actual printing for my class. This, notice, has no center lines. We're pretty much ready to go after we set our layer states. But let's go through the whole thing. Down here, our titles. Let's make sure we change all of our titles. Our titles, and make sure, did you see how it took off the centering? Make sure we have it as a center. It is all going to be caps lock, and it's going to be problem. And this one is 5-8. Now, make sure you title the rest of your drawings this way. Whatever problem we have, that's what you're going to do. Make sure it is centered. Our scale is full, and make sure that you have that properly done. The date. Let's change the date to whatever the most recent date is, and today is the 5th. And notice, I am picky, you guys. You know that. 0405. 2 digits, 2 digits, 4 digits. So make sure you have that. Come over here, and of course, your period will be changed to whatever period class you're in. And the drawing number. This 5-8 actually was our very first drawing we did. You can keep up on the date or the number. It'll be up on the blackboard, so you can keep track with that. So now we have our title all worked out. The next thing I want you to do, I want you to look at the centering. I am not going to make you go back and center things, but I want you to look at the distance from here to this line, not the edge of that, from the edge of this object to the edge of this object, and here. Does that look approximately equal? No, I'm not going to measure it. But if you would like to measure it, you can come to annotate and you can check things out, such as you've got here, you've got here. Am I expecting you to do this? Absolutely not. And if you look at that, these two are pretty centered. This one is not. So if this was me, I would probably move it over a little bit because it's truly not properly centered. And I will just move this over just a little bit. I'll keep my ortho on for right now. And I'm just moving it over somewhat. And of course, none of my dimensions moved with me because I did not select. But let's check out and see what these look like. Am I expecting you to do this with each one? No. But will this help you get the idea of what I mean for centering? Absolutely. So if you need to do that, please do so. But really just take a look, eyeball it, see what you can do. I think I'm going to move this one, and I'll grab this guy and this guy. Let's see if this will move at the same time. Okay, now let's see what this has done. Well, that's not too bad. 1.1.6, 1.6, 1.5. That's pretty close. That's not an issue. So it looks pretty centered here. Now, let's just guesstimate here. Look, from here to here, here to here, and then this little tiny space up here. That's a problem. So let's go ahead and move this. Let's bring it down just a little. And yeah, I am very picky on this. And the reason I am picky is because you need to have space when we're doing other things with it. So this space, and this space, that's pretty good. So now this is all completely centered up. This would be good to go to turn in. Now, what do we need to do? We have to do our layer states. So we've got our titles done, our date done, our scale is done, our drawing number is done. We have centered up our drawing. The last thing we do is we click over to our model tab. Now, we are coming up to our layer properties. With this, we are coming to our layer states. Here, we click because remember, this is ready to print for a 2D. This is not ready to print for a 3D. We are going to import. Now, when you call this up, please, please, please change the file type to your .las. And you will find your LAS. It's going to be on your server or your desktop, and it's going to be 3D print or 3D ready to print, whichever one you named it, and tell it open. When you get here, do you want to restore it? Absolutely. Notice it took all of our layers, turned them the proper color. It changed that MD hidden to just the regular hidden line. So now we should be set to go. I'm going to close this off. And I'm going to come back to my A size. When I come back to my A size, everything should be all set and ready to go. Now, the last thing we need to do is to print. We select our printer, and I need to select the proper printer, and we have it as letter. It's 1:1, center the plot, and we already had it windowed. We did this previously, but for those that don't remember the windowing or you're having problems, if you click this window again, we always window our drawings from the bottom edge of the format to the top edge of the format. And preview. I cannot tell you guys enough to preview, preview, preview. What you see here is what you're going to get. If you're missing a line, you didn't window properly. If you notice here you didn't change the date, change it. Change the title. Make sure you have the proper drawing number. You will see all your line weights are set. At this point, if you're done, you right-click and you will plot. That's as simple as it gets. There should be no more problems with that. So you should be set and ready to go. So remember, importing your layer states is the dead last thing you do. Hopefully this one will keep you on track. Hopefully, watch this before you need to print. I want to make sure you know what you're doing. All right. I guess I got to move on to the next one.